Johnny is in court today with his friend and witness, Misty Booker. But Coach Mike contends he does not need to pay Johnny anything because he didn't make any money from Johnny's personal appearances.
All rise. This court is now in session. Honorable Judge Alex Ferrer presiding.
Thank you. Please be seated. All right. Mr. Fairplay, you're suing your friend, Coach here, because you say he hired you to do personal appearances, and you did those personal appearances, and now he refuses to pay you.
Yes.
And Coach, your version is that you hired him to do personal appearances, but he was supposed to be paid out of your profits if you profited, and you didn't profit, so you don't owe him any money.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So tell me about this, Mr. Fairplay. By the way, I know who you are.
Person, you're a very handsome man.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Usually when a litigant is trying to win me over for the case, it's usually a female that compliments me to get that benefit, but I'll take it. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I love your outfit.
Well, thank you.
I don't see where it plugs in at, but...
You don't want to know.
Okay. All right. Well, as far as the survivor incident, I laughed personally. Did you know him back then?
Yes.
You did? Okay. I laughed a lot. I know a lot of people were offended by it. I thought it was the funniest thing. But my clerk pulled a video clip. Let me run that real quick.
They're booing because they hate you.
Oh, Danny.
All
Needles, I'm not afraid of anything else, and I stopped counting at 18 Novocaine shots. And that was 8 hours before I left for my second season of Survivor.
I was lucky enough to see that too. I happened to be watching it, and I saw Danny Bonaduce flip you over his shoulder. So I know who you are. Coach, I'm meeting for the first time. And what do you do, sir?
I'm a pro wrestler. I'm a self-employed. I have my own gym, my own training center in Tacoma, Washington. Also, I'm a general contractor. I'm a promoter also. And
you promote what?
I promote pro wrestling and entertainment.
Okay. So in what capacity do you two know each other?
I've known Coach since 2000. I lived in Portland, Oregon. I ran a wrestling promotion. I was the writer, producer, and bad guy commentator.
This is before you went on Survivor?
Yes. So Survivor was 2003. This was 2000.
Okay.
And I came up with the gimmick the most. He'd come out to the crowd and have everybody do jumping jacks, and they didn't like that, and that's very good, you know, for a heel persona to elicit that response.
He was a wrestler.
Yes, he was one of my favorites.
He would have the audience do jumping jacks?
They would not do jumping. He requested that they do jumping jacks. They never.
It's kind of like WWE meets Richard Simmons or something.
Yes.
Coming up, does Coach Mike come up a little short?
There's no sign that says Johnny.
Midget wrestling at the same bar 2 weeks earlier.
Really?
So,
And do enough to promote Johnny's colorful side.
So his
Fairplay or...
You had booked him in what, a bar?
I was promoting midget wrestling at the same bar 2 weeks earlier.
Really?
So,
And later, did Coach Mike do enough to promote Johnny's colorful side?
So his idea to Jonny Fairplay, and he would print the picture. And
people are supposed to pay how much money for that?
Case of former Survivor bad boy Jonny Fairplay, who's suing his business associate Coach Mike for $900 for unpaid personal appearance fees. But Coach Mike says he does not owe Johnny any money because he made little to no money from Johnny's personal appearances. Johnny is in court today with his friend and witness, Misty Booker.
He contacted 2009, he goes, hey, I have some wrestling promotions and some other stuff. I'd like to bring you out. In May of this year, he was like, I got a gig. Can you come July 4th weekend? Is it possible that you come for 10 days? And I that Friday evening, I would do stand-up comedy. Saturday, I would do wrestling. And Sunday, I would sign autographs at an air show.
What agreement do you end up reaching about this appearance?
I usually do appearances for as I said, I've known Coach Mike for over 10 years, and I told him, I'm like, hey, there's some friends in the Pacific Northwest I'd like to see. How about $750 for the entire weekend plus hotel and airfare?
Okay.
So
agreed upon?
It was $750 if we do well. That's what I
How much
said.
if you do poorly?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Really?
Yep.
Is that in here?
A pretty amazing bargain. I mean, look at me.
That's that suit alone is worth it.
I agree.
Okay. So what happens?
He showed up in an outfit quite like this, and I'd never seen him, met him, or anything. And I was like, you have to be famous with an outfit like that. And he started laughing, and Coach Mike chimed in and said, well, he's Jonny Fairplay from Survivor. And I just kind of kept blowing him off a little bit. And finally, he said, well, can you come tomorrow to my comedy show at the backstage? And you can come see me do my stand-up.
Okay.
So I said, sure. So the
Booked him in what, a bar?
I booked him in a bar. I was promoting midget wrestling at the same bar 2 weeks earlier.
Really?
So we announced the show. We announced Johnny's show at the midget show.
Coming up was Coach Mike setting Johnny up for round 2.
What happened to the radio promotion?
He wouldn't answer, so...
The guy who knocked his teeth out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thanks. a.m. So I wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm like, all right, Coach Mike, where are we going? And he was like...
What happened on that was I was supposed to get him on Danny Bonaduce's show.
The guy who knocked his teeth out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thanks.
He wouldn't answer, so I was in the big movie with him.
Wait. Didn't you sue Bonaduce over that incident?
Yeah, and
I'm kind of figuring why he didn't answer the phone when you called.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thanks.
He wouldn't answer, so I was in the Bigfoot movie with him.
Wait. Didn't you sue Bonaduce over that incident?
Yeah, and
I'm kind of figuring why he didn't answer the phone when you called him here. So you wake up Saturday morning.
And I go to the event, and it's at like a storage locker facility, like you see on Storage Wars, yes.
The charity event?
It's a huge facility. It's like 10 football fields big.
Because it's got all these storage lockers.
But no, only half of it has storage. The other half is unbuilt.
Okay.
So that's where the event was.
That's where the charity event was being held.
Down at the bottom of it.
So you get there, what happens?
So the event started at 10 a.m. And
were you advertised for this event?
Well, that was the funny thing, Your Honor. You're here. I had no idea you were going to be here.
Oh, no.
again.
That's not good.
You're a promoter, right?
Your Honor, I have flyers right here.
Let me see what you have.
And promotion
That's okay. Pass it to Mason. He'll bring it up.
Go back over there, sir.
Okay. So you passed out these flyers in advance of the
Yeah,
event.
we had 5,000 flyers of each.
Okay.
I'd imagine there's...
I think it was more like 150. Well, like I said, one of the ladies, she said she can't have us on her show on the Friday because they don't film, but she knows we're going to draw a lot of people because of all the exposure she's seen on the internet. They had a bunch of stories on it also. And it was the #1 story on Q13's news for 2 weeks.
So why didn't anybody show up?
Also that day, it was like it was going to monsoon rain that day.
Coming up, why didn't Jonny Fairplay draw a bigger crowd?
I'm walking, I'm like, Johnny, where are you? And he's like, I'm...
For the defendant.
Well, I was intending on making money. I had no idea. Like I said, they were saying 4,000 to 5,000 people.
Call what?
You have to come if you don't want to. And once these red flags are just going off everywhere,
Red
I'm like,
flags? What's the situation?
well,
What is it?
once again, they put him in the worst. I mean, like there's the big stage, and the 3 Dog Night cover band showed up for this event, and they have a nice big booth right beside the stage, and
With
I'm just
color.
like, this is cool. If you walk 3 blocks down the road, there's Coach Mike's booth.
It
3
took
blocks
me
away
an
from the main
hour
stage.
to find his
And
booth.
what was it? What exactly was his booth?
It was.
for?
I had to walk about a mile past the cars and whatever. I'm walking. I'm like, Johnny, where are you? And he's like, I'm right here, and I'm under a white tent. And finally, I find him. I'm like, wait.
Wrong.
The best part of this, and I say best with not meaning that word whatsoever. He has a black and white print.
Supposed to pay how much money for that?
Which they can't even.
Hopefully $750.
And they can't even set it up for like 2 hours.
That's wrong.
Here we go. Let me take a look at this.
I told him verbally that he would get $250 per day if we did well, and that he could sell all the pictures he wants.
Did you really tell him? Because look, you sent me this. Your door down about doing the bookings. He's just saying, like, you find something, let me know, okay?
Exactly.
So with that in mind, since you haven't decided to document anything in writing, why would I believe that he would come all the way to where you live on the promise that if you happen to make any money, he'll get paid? And if you don't make any money, hey, sorry, dude, go back.
Well, I was intending on making money. I had no idea. Like I said, they were saying 4,000 to 5,000 people.
I understand what your intention was. What I'm saying is, since you guys haven't put anything in writing, I have to look at what's reasonable and customary in the industry, okay? And in this situation, he's a well-known commodity, okay? You obviously thought so, or you wouldn't have invited him. What was the reason of you bringing him down as a promotion for this event? Because you thought people would come out and want to see him, okay? So clearly, there's a value to him. And so in the entertainment industry, there is what's reasonable and customary, and reasonable and customary would dictate that he gets paid for his appearance fee. And Johnny was one of the expenses. You have an expense for talent, and you have to pay your expenses. So it's a judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. It's a pleasure meeting you both.
All right.
Judge Alex has ruled in favor of the plaintiff and has ordered the defendant to pay him $900.
If I were to work with Mike in the future, I think we might have to have a contract. I think would be the best bet for Jonny Fairplay. I was very excited about the outcome of the case. I won. It's always good when that happens, and Judge Alex is a really good-looking guy.